Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bench to Bold. I'm Marnie.
And I'm Alisa.
And Alisa, I mean, like, I think we're on to something now.
We're on to something.
So, yeah. Do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes.
Or maybe he'll just introduce himself?
I think we should let him introduce himself.
Yeah. Okay. Take it away.
All right. Well, what up, party people? This is Carolina Mike, and I got a question for you. You already know what it is. If you had 150,000, well, it all just flew like this way, but hey, there was money. I don't know if you saw it.
Hey, there was money.
That's right.
Money.
Yes. Welcome, Carolina Mike.
We're so excited to have you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you
Yes.
for
From
having
the
me.
Panthers to Wake Forest to Clemson. And we'll
Hornets.
let you talk about this upcoming weekend here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, big weekend coming up. I'm super excited to see everybody at Spectrum. This will be my second time at Spectrum. I was there January 31st with the Hornets. And this weekend, Saturday, March 14th, I'll be there for the T. Rowe Price ACC Men's Basketball Championship Game halftime show, along with Laura Ashley, who's going to be doing speed painting at the same time.
Wow. That's going to be nice.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you're going to be the main attraction, though, Carolina Mike. All right, so, I just want to start right off. How has Carolina Mike entered the vernacular of almost every single person from the past 6 to 8 months? Like, tell us everything.
I want to know how it all started.
Yes.
Wow, there's a lot to tell. So I'll just kind of start where things really started to kind of take off.
And let me say before you start, I love what you have on.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Go Panthers.
Thank you. Yes. This is one of my favorite zip ups right here. You know, you'll see me in it a lot. So July 24th last year, I decided to make a quick video on the way to pick up my daughter for the weekend, for the July 4th weekend. And I was wearing a certain outfit and did like a fake money toss with the song, the first verse of the song, right? Originally there was only one verse back in July, and it just sort of took on a life of its own from that point. So much so that people were asking for another verse, and my mentors were like, "Yeah, you're going to have to open up the session, create a second verse." And so I did. And then I added the actual Monopoly money, and then it just went.
But did you know as you were doing it, though, Carolina Mike? All right, and I want to know, okay, Carolina Mike, how did you come up with your name?
Oh, okay. Well, the way that happened is um, I originally grew up in South Carolina, and in 1998, I moved to Minneapolis. And I was already doing karaoke, pre 1998. But when I got to Minnesota, when I would put my name in, there'd be a lot of mics out there. It's a very common name, obviously. And so I wanted to set myself apart. And I grew up in South Carolina, so I just started writing down on the karaoke sheets Carolina Mike, so that they would know, I would know it was me, not some other Mike. That's where the name came from. And then fast forward to 2018 when I released my first song. That's what I had as my stage name.
Fantastic. All right. So, did you know when you did this video over the weekend, July 4th weekend, that did you have a feeling like, were you just thinking to yourself, this is something special, or is this just like something fun and silly and you liked it? So, that was good enough?
Yeah, that last thing you said. Like, there's no way I could have imagined we'd be here and I'd be like, yeah, Saturday I'm going to be doing halftime the ACC championship. Like that. No, like I had no idea. I mean, did I think the beat and the lyrics I thought the beat was cool. I thought the lyrics were funny. I thought it jammed. I liked it. Um, uh, Also, that song came out originally, just the first verse. It came out in 2023, and it was just one verse. And I had been making videos on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. I get 300 views, and I'd be like, oh wow, I got 200 views. Normally it's like 10, 15, just very little views. And July 4th, 2025, I just decided to do, a little dance to try and TikTok is all driven by dances and whatnot. So I was like, I gotta have like a dance. And so I did the dance, and I threw pretending to throw the money up, and then it just took on a life of its own, as best I can tell you.
Fantastic.
And,
well,
and,
that's
and
great.
it just went viral. Or have you always been a Carolina Panthers fan?
Yeah, I went to Furman University 92 to 94, and I distinctly remember our marching band getting invited out to the groundbreaking of what was Erickson Stadium originally. So I was there for that. And then, I followed them off and on, but then once I 98, once I moved to Minnesota, I just kind of started to cling to them a little more because I'm quite the contrarian by nature, and so I was here in Minnesota, and everyone expected me to like root for Minnesota or whatever, and I was like, well, I have a team, and so I just clung even closer to them at that point.
So, all right. So, who are your musical inspirations?
George Clinton, Parliament and the Funkadelic, Sly and the Family Stone, Prince, James Brown, Stevie Wonder. I mean, and I listened to everything growing up, Madonna and, Pet Shop Boys and, but I really have a firm grounding in like funk and R&B, and you'll hear that a lot in my songs.
Are you still doing karaoke?
Sort of. So shout out to my local spot here in Maple Grove, Minnesota. It's called the Lookout Bar and Grill. Also, big shout out to Kirsty Santos, who runs Off the Hook Karaoke. I've been going to her shows for years and years and years, and whenever I've asked her to play one of my original tracks, she's always been very gracious. And so, like tonight, that's where I'm going after I'm done chatting with y'all. I'm gonna get up and gear up and go to the Lookout Bar and Grill and practice my 5-minute show for Saturday. So I do my original stuff at karaoke, but then if I have time, I'll stick around and I'll do a cover song.
How do you deal with the Minnesota winters?
Next question. No. I just drudge through, whatever you want to call it. Can't stand it. Can't stand the winters. Can't stand them. So
Did a job move you there? Is that why you moved there, for a job?
no, when I got in the Marine Corps, I just wanted to move to a bigger city, and so I moved to Minnesota, moved to Minneapolis to see what I could do, and now look at us.
That's right. Well, first of all, thank you for your service.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank
so
you for
not only are you an entertainer, but you're also somebody out there saving the world. So thank you, Carolina Mike.
My
Those
pleasure.
are great things. How did you get interested in music in the first place?
I feel like it was just kind of always there. I very distinctly remember being just tiny and hearing music playing, right? Two songs that really stick out in my mind, but like the first songs that I ever really remember hearing and loving from just a tiny age are Leo Sayer, "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing," okay, and
you make me feel like dancing, dancing night away.
Yeah. You gotta keep me talking. All right, anyway, so love that.
Love it. I know. Well, we're all the same age, so
Yeah, right.
so that's kind of the music that I remember hearing in my mom's car, as going to school or after school. That song.
That and Marilyn McCoo. I can't remember who the other person was on it, but
Billy
it was
Davis.
Say again.
Billy Davis.
Yeah. And the song
Wasn't it
was
Marilyn
"You Don't Have to
McCoo
Be
and
a
Billy
Star."
Davis?
You don't. I think so. You don't have to be a star, baby. Like,
Yeah.
those are the first two songs I ever really
To be in my
remember
show.
hearing. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, so at an early age, I was just listening to that and always listening to the radio. And then I always wanted to reproduce these songs. So when people would come over to the house when I was like, 5, 6, or 6, 7 years old, I would I would just pretend to be like sing, or I would pretend to have a microphone and just sing for company when they come over. And then once I got into school, got into marching band, and symphonic band, and you know all that stuff. So that's where it all kind of came together.
I love to go to. My husband and I own a restaurant here in Charlotte. Maybe you can come sing one night for us. But I love when I go somewhere to listen to live music and it's a cover band or they're covering other people's music because you know it, and it you can get into it. I'm with you. I love R&B. I grew up with R&B and hip hop. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I was born in the 70s, early 70s,
Oh
and
yeah.
I love music.
Oh
But
yeah.
I really like when I go out and I can go somewhere and know I'm going to hear music that I know, a Prince or a Michael Jackson song, and but someone else is singing it, but it's good.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
We'll have to set that.
What does your daughter or your other children, if there are other children, think of their dad's success? I mean,
Just
success, you've had success, but this kind of TikTok and entertainment success.
sure. Just the one daughter, and she's very level-headed about it. She's very pragmatic. Um, she's very happy for me. However, she just wants dear old dad, right? And I totally respect that. And so I try not to barrage her, hey, guess what's, this and that. And, she just wants to spend time with dad. And I'm just dad. And she definitely keeps me grounded in that aspect. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, that is good. Well, kids will have the way of doing that also, for sure. I have 3, and if I ever got a little too big for my britches, they would definitely let me know, "Hey,
Yeah.
sorry,
Hmm.
mom,
Hmm.
you're not that cool." And so,
Hmm.
okay, you're right, I'm not. Definitely, I'm not that cool.
Yeah,
But I think you are that cool, Carolina Mike. So that's something. I mean, what are the biggest things that from having this kind of overnight success in this new universe? What are some of the things that have surprised you, or maybe been fun or disappointing?
One of the first things that sticks out, and here's another shout out to Cherub. They're like an uh, the term EDM music. They're very like electronic music, and they I found out that they were playing my song as they would go on stage for their tour that they were doing here in, I guess it was this past winter. And ultimately I got connected with them, Jason and Jordan, and got connected with them, and they actually invited me when they came to St. Paul. They invited me to come on stage with them and perform my song with them, and that would just blew me away. It's my first time in a green room, and then to top it off, after we did that show, they invited me to another show in Raleigh, um, a few months after, or a few weeks later, near the end of their tour. And so I flew down to Raleigh, or flew to Charlotte, drove to Raleigh, and joined them at the I can't remember the venue, but I was able to perform with them, and it's amazing to have that experience of performing with a touring band, and they really embraced me. Again, shout out to Cherub. It was awesome. So that was super cool. And then, you know, the first time I ever set foot in Bank of America Stadium, I got to perform. I mean, that was, you know,
Yeah.
it was, and my daughter's first NFL game, and she's on the field watching her dad perform. So,
That was
that was
huge.
super cool. And then
Mhm.
it just kind of like every iteration is just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Um,
And you had Kevin Hart mention you and his buddy and Wake Forest. I mean, that's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, he was kind of giving me the business a little bit, kind of making fun. But you know what? I'll take it. I
I
took it
would
as a
too. You were
compliment.
still on his brain
Right,
housing,
right.
right?
And he and Kenan were singing the hook at the end, so I'm like, hey, I'll take it. So
Yes.
shout out to Kevin Hart, Kenan Thompson. Appreciate you guys.
So, also, we know that you're very philanthropically minded. So, where did that passion come from to make a difference and to give back? And can you share with everybody what really does excite you about making a difference and what charities you love to participate in?
Fair enough. Well, you know, at this point, I feel like I've been so blessed, just generally speaking, and really blessed with all the things that have happened with this um, newfound light that's been shined on my music. I got reached out to by Cool Kids Clubhouse. Corey, shout out to Corey at Cool Kids Clubhouse, and he sort of talked to me about what they do, and they do a pretty cool thing. They help the families of kids that are fighting cancer and the kids themselves. So they help provide like retreats for the parents, things for the siblings, outings for the teens, celebrations when they reach milestones. And they reached out and they had a campaign that was aptly named with the run it up to 150,000, and it just sort of lined up. And so I thought it was a great opportunity to collaborate. And so if you check out Instagram, there's a link in my bio where you can go donate. Uh, Trying to get it up to 150K, but anything helps. So it's really awesome.
That is wonderful. Well, we really appreciate you using your talents and your fame to give back, because that really is something that certainly Alisa and I love making, a difference. We're very involved in places like the Ronald McDonald House and charities that certainly take the time to acknowledge families and kids and things that are meaningful. So thank you, Carolina Mike, for also doing big things. My grandfather would always say, to do big things, you got to do big things. So that's what you're definitely doing. So what's on the horizon for Carolina Mike?
Um, well, on the horizon, like I know there, hopefully there are some things in the works related to motorsports. We were kind of chatting about that off camera. Um, I'm trying to get myself over to a Charlotte FC game. I see y'all. I see the energy in the videos, and I'm like, I want to even if I don't perform, I just gotta get there and just experience that crowd.
Well, let me
So
know when you want to come, and I will give you the ultimate experience. We have 2 tickets in the vault on the field. You just send me some dates, or I'll send you some dates, because there's a million games coming up, and we literally can't go to every one of them, and you are welcome to my 2 tickets.
awesome. I'm gonna hold you to that. Thank you.
I mean it.
Um,
You're welcome to have 2 of them.
there's also some things that are coming up that I can't really talk about. As soon as I can, I will. That's the most I can say about that. Um, but then other than that, it's just just living and practicing and writing some music. I've got a song that I've been working on here that uh, I'm trying to get it to come out here, but my daughter is gonna she's co-producing it, and she has the final say. And so far, there's a particular element that I'm trying to work on that she has not okayed yet. So I have to continue giving her drafts until she okays it. And I know, right? And my latest release, Maple Syrup, is out there. So if you can go check it out.
Where do people, how can they find your music or buy your music? How do they do that?
Well, you can go to everywhere, every streaming platform on the face of the planet. You just check out Carolina Mike, and you can go there with Spotify, Apple Music, all of the platforms. And my Instagram is really the best place to get to everything. Carolina _MIC, like microphone.
So, Carolina Mike, who are your favorite players on the Carolina Panthers? I see some jerseys behind you and a few photographs. So, is there
Yeah,
a Hall of Fame performance that's brewing?
I would love to do that. If it happens, I will let you know. Like if there's, if I get any sort of information that I'm able to share, I will there will be signs. Put it that way. There will be signs on my
Right. Like
Instagram.
that's $150,000 signs.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know if you see the Luke Kuechly back here. I did get to meet him when I went and performed um at the Saints game November 9th. I did not know I was meeting I mean, I think we all knew he was going to make it, but I didn't know he was going to make it this soon to the Hall of Fame. So Luke Kuechly and the other posters you see back there, Jake Delhomme, I got to meet him on that same day. Um, Shout out to Jonathan Stewart, Steve Smith. He's actually at the very top. I don't know if you can see that, but Steve Smith's up there. Um, D'Angelo Williams. Um, there's so many. There's so many, but those are some of my top ones. And Bryce Young. Um, yeah, yeah.
I think we're going to have a good season. We had a
Oh,
great season last
yeah,
year, but I think the
yeah.
upcoming season with some of the stuff we've seen this week and last week, it
Free
looks like
agency has been very good for the Carolina Panthers.
it has.
So I think some people say, I mean, some of the experts say that they have an A+ in free agency. So if that is an indication, then and that they did great, better than many other teams in free agency. So
There you
we're
go.
excited for the season.
The
To
defense is looking
definitely.
stacked. Yeah,
They are. Yeah. And the Hornets are doing great too. So shout out to Charlotte for
that's
all the
right.
teams. Checkers are doing well. We got hockey over here doing well. We got Hornets. So yeah, we're doing good here in Charlotte on the sports
I
scene.
got I got to get myself to a Hurricanes game as well.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
Do you still have family in South Carolina?
Oh yeah. Lots, lots and lots all over the
And are they calling you up now saying, "Hey, Carolina Mike, we need tickets. You need to hook us up"? Is that happening?
They're being very kind. I haven't really had any of that. Although I do believe my cousin, shout out to Jackie if you're watching, she is hopefully gonna be able to meet up with me on Friday after I get into town. She lives in South Carolina, but she's gonna drive up to Charlotte and spend some time with her cousin. So yeah,
Good. Well, the weather's going to be nice this weekend in Charlotte. I don't know what it's like in Minnesota right now, but it's 86 degrees, 84 degrees probably by the time we leave
Yeah.
today. So, yeah, it's going to be nice this weekend and cool back off again next week. So, you're going to get some nice warm weather here in Charlotte. Sunny.
awesome. The weather's just stupid here. That's what I'll just say because like one day it'll be like 50, then it'll be like 30, then it'll be like it's just all over the place, you know.
Yeah. All right. So, Carolina Mike, what do you think you want your legacy in addition to being Carolina Mike? But what is your legacy? Being a man who served the country and obviously is a dedicated father and a good family man. So, what is your legacy to others? How could you share that with us?
Ultimately, I just first and foremost I want to be known as being a solid dad. Like that's my whole existence. Like if I needed to hang all of this up just to be the best dad, then totally would do that. So I try to balance it, and so balance being a great family person and just spreading some positivity as much as possible, right? Um, I feel like we just need that a lot in today's world. And if we could spread some positivity, spread some love, spread some joy, and have some laughs, like that's, I feel like that's half the battle.
For sure. So the name of the show is Bench to Bold. So are there moments in your life? Obviously, right now, I would say it's pretty bold for Carolina Mike, but have there been moments when you felt like you were benched? And what did you do to remedy that if that was the case?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there are moments. I mean, you know, even with just day to day things that happen where you're trying to fix a problem, and it's like no matter what you do, you just run up against a brick wall, right? And I do a lot of positive self-talk. If I run up against that brick wall, it's like, you know what? You got this, bro. Like literally, I'll just find myself just walking through the house. You got this. You got this, bro. You gotta have this. You gotta do
It's
this.
like
You can do this.
self-fulfilling prophecies,
Yeah,
right? You tell
because
yourself it's positive
otherwise,
reinforcement.
yeah, otherwise I just walk around just sobbing all the time. So, so yeah, there are times where I feel like I'm benched, where I just can't get things to behave the way I need them, or I can't solve a particular problem, or something breaks on the car, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like really, like right now, this is not the right time. But then you just sort of continue to take a step, you continue move forward, you know, thankful and be grateful for what we do have.
I love that
Me too.
positivity.
Yeah.
And it really radiates in all of your videos and your interviews. It really radiates and comes through. I think that having the positivity is something fun, and it really does make people believe that they can do it as well. And so thank you for sharing that message with our listeners and our viewers, because being positive and grateful at the same time is kind of, I think, like the magic trick to having success and putting in the work. Obviously, you work really hard. You're very disciplined with whatever it is that you're doing. So when you add those things in, that's when you see all the good stuff come to fruition.
Fair enough. And you just got to keep at it, like I said, when this song came out in 2023, nobody was listening to it. you know I'd do all sorts of things, but you just gotta keep trying until you get that perfect storm. And I have to say, there is some persistence, but there's also some luck that played into it as well.
So how did you choose who styled you for your who styled you, Carolina Mike? And have they been coming to you saying, is that like, honestly, that's a great Halloween costume, I think, like in the most positive way. Like, who doesn't want to dress up like Carolina Mike with some money and the beige shorts? I love it. And the slippers, all of
Yeah.
it. So who styled you? How did you say, this is what I'm gonna wear for this recording?
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess indirectly my daughter. But here's the thing you got to understand. And people will say it's fake, but no, this is how it really happened. Like, I woke up that morning, and I had worn those shorts with those socks, those shoes, and the black Panthers polo. I had worn that. We were going on our way to Valley Fair or something, right? Local amusement park. And she complimented me on it, and I thought to myself, because I felt like I was kind of dressed, kind of like a nerd. I was dressed like a nerd, like a dad nerd. And she was like, oh, it's kind of cool. And I was like, really? And so so then fast forward to July 4th, I put that same thing on to go pick her up, and that's just what I had put on. Set the phone up, recorded it, and then the rest was. And I tried different outfits after that one video took off, and then I went back to the shorts and the shoes and the black shirt, and it continued to take off. If I tried something different, it wasn't really working, because I was trying different things after that. It's like, is it, I was trying to figure out what it was, you know, and basically it's the outfit, the dance, the money, and the song. But yeah, so I could use a stylist maybe, but so if anyone wants to
Well, I think
volunteer.
it's just so authentic. And like it is like a dad, like a nerdy dad. Like that's, we can all relate to that. We all know what that person is. We like that. That person is safe and we like that person. So we want to cheer for that person, that nerdy dad that's just like out there doing their thing.
I do have to tell you that my husband and I, we get your song in our head. We'll go through the house singing. He's like, damn it. I got that Carolina Mike song in my head and I can't get it out.
Uh-huh.
We literally walk through our house. If I had 150,000. I mean, I think I could be.
I think you're the backup singer. We just need to get you a tambourine.
There we
Right?
go.
we get it in our head and we can't get it out. So whatever you did it well.
Thank you.
You
It
did.
it just it just happened. I mean, I had the beat.
It's got a great beat.
It does.
You know,
It's very catchy.
it hits just right.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
it
much.
is.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
it's very catchy, and it's just so genuine and authentic. And I think that that's what people also relate to, is that it doesn't look like some staged high production
Right.
value performance. It's just, there's Carolina Mike
And he
in
was
his
just
outfit
being
that his
real.
daughter likes,
Right.
and just standing there singing, serenading us basically. And we can all relate. Like, what would we do if we had $150,000?
Well, we can also relate because it's Monopoly money.
Right.
We all grew up on Monopoly.
This
It's
is
still
true.
to this day. They've made so many renditions of
Yeah.
Monopoly for Charlotte or for whatever. There's all kinds of different monopolies now, and you use the money. It's great.
It's surprising that, the Monopoly people haven't they've been kind of quiet. So
I know.
don't
I'm surprised.
What's up, Monopoly?
We'll have
Is
to,
it Hasbro,
We'll,
Parker Brothers?
we'll
I know.
tag Monopoly, or who makes Monopoly? Is
No,
it
I think it's a game company, Parker Brothers.
Parker Brothers
Yeah,
or
something like
I feel
that.
like it was originally Parker Brothers, and then I think I don't know if Hasbro got involved, but I know it was.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think it is Hasbro. Yes, I
We'll
think
tag
so.
them.
All right, so this is such a bad question, but I'm gonna.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing with the $150,000?
What am I doing? I don't have it. So what do you mean? What am I doing?
I know, but but you're gonna get it because you're a positive thinker, and it's
Oh,
gonna happen. So when you get your $150,000, what are you doing with it? We know there's some charity involved, but after the charity part of it,
yeah.
what is happening with the $150,000?
Yeah, let's assume, a charity and daughter's education aside, right?
Right.
Let's get that out of
Yeah.
the way.
Now we want the frivolous stuff.
Frivolous?
Okay.
Well, you said that was a bad question, but I'm gonna give you a bad answer. First thing I'm gonna try and do is buy a big old yacht. But then I'm
Okay.
probably gonna realize that that's not quite enough to get the one that I want.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'm probably gonna try and get like a really tricked out Porsche. We're
Mhm.
gonna realize that. I mean, I just watched the video last night that the 2026 Turbo S fully tricked out is just under 300,000. Probably not gonna be able to get that. I mean, I might want to, buy a football team. Definitely not gonna be enough to buy a team. So you see
Well,
where I'm
not an
going with
NFL
this.
team.
You see what I'm doing here. You see what I'm doing.
Maybe we could all
Yes,
pitch.
I
Maybe
know,
we could all pitch in and
right.
own a football team. Maybe
Yes.
there'll be one for sale soon.
That
I'm just
yes.
giving you
Well, I
things
think
from
you
the
were
song.
giving us the lyrics from your
Yeah.
song, Carolina Mike.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, I love, and that's why that's why it was like, it's not a great question, but if there are other things other than the Porsche, the yacht, the football team, okay,
Yeah.
what have you been dreaming of in your days of standing behind the microphone?
Well, I'm supposed to stick to the script here, Marnie. I'm supposed to. I mean, I can't. I got to take all the luster off of these.
I know,
little
and
things.
this is not hard journalism.
Okay, all
So,
right. I'll give you a nugget, fair? Because I will
okay.
tell you that when people ask that, I always go right back to I'm going to buy a yacht. I'm going to buy a team.
Mhm.
Acreage, or at least enough space to where I can like pump up my music as loud as I want, and the thumpity thump is not going to bother anybody, and I could just walk out of my backyard and look and not see a neighbor. They're there, but they're far enough away that
So that you can play your music loud and just
Have all your friends over and just have a big karaoke party.
get 100 dozen blue crab and just go to
Oh
town.
yeah, there you go. 100,000 blue crab. That could be a new song.
yes, or part of the
Or
song.
part of the
Right.
song.
Something.
It's
yes.
actually in the first verse, by the way. So yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
100 dozen blue crabs. Yeah.
Oh,
The-
blue crab.
Okay.
the second verse is what kind of gets a lot of the shine because it talks about the Panthers, but
Yes. Well, it sounds like, there's a lot of great opportunity in your future, Carolina Mike. And I'm so
I'm
glad.
here for it.
Yes, me as well. And you're a really good sport too, because you can hang with us, and so thank you for doing that. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule and spending some time with us on Bench to Bold and sharing your story. And it's really just so fun. And like I said earlier, we're big fans of yours, because taking something and turning it into something else is really a beautiful gift for everybody to participate in. So thank you.
You're welcome. Pleasure's all mine. It's been outstanding. Thank you so much for the invite.
Likewise. Thanks
Yes.
for being on our show.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
So we'll be sure to make sure that we definitely tag your charity organization. I
Thank
can't
you.
say that enough. Yes.
Thank you very much. Awesome.
Yes. Well,
right.
thank you, Carolina Mike. All right, for Bench to Bold, I'm Marnie.
And I'm Alisa.
And Mike, do you want to sing us out? Can you do that, please?
Well, I gotta gather some dough here. Let's see. Okay, here we go, party people. I'm gonna say, if you had 150,000. Hey, all right, y'all. Appreciate you.